Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Leo Naranjo IV, candidate for governor 2026 in California. Right now, I'm standing out here in Morrill, Georgia. Family business. I'm not in California right now. Well, Leo, that's highly amazing. What are you doing way over there? Kicking ass and taking names. Learning about what's going on through my state. Finding out who the hell's doing what in my state. Getting told information about my state. Let me make some pointed conversation here with you tonight while I'm out here freezing my cojones off in Georgia cold weather. That's why I got my little shirt on. Hubris. Number one. And this is not really a slam, it's just a point of reference. God bless you, Miss Christine. You're running for California Congressional District 6. And I've noticed something in the last 3 days it just came to my mind, because I had to look through it to make sure, and I'm pretty sure. You've made more posts in the last 3 days than you've made in the last 6 months. Interesting. Little nuance. Observation. See, don't blame me for making a pointed observation and saying it out loud. Congratulate the U.S. military for training me to do that. Hi, puppy. I got a doggy over here. It's all right.
Hey, I'm here, bro.
You mind if I get your doggy on camera?
Yeah,
oh, here we go. So we got one good. Well, we don't want to see that. That's a little X-rated right there. Doggy doing his business. Yeah, don't blame me for pointing out the obvious. That's the benefit of being in the United States military. More posts in 3 days than you've done in 6 months. Couple that with the fact that Kevin Kileys is looking for a job now that Prop 50 and all the actions behind it have failed. He doesn't have a home. And when we get past the melodrama and the housewife moment that he's nitpicking through for whatever the hell he's doing that for, I'm sure he's got his reason. Oh my, I've got 12 districts to look through, and every week I'll give you one more I'm not going to be running for. Now he's got 2 left. 2 congressional districts left for Mr. Kileys to run for. Who are they, you might ask? Well, one of them is Tom McClintock's district. Yes. Tom McClintock. He's a good old boy. Known him a long time. Known about him for a long time. Know people who know people about him for a longer time. Tom McClintock is a Republican soldier. What does that mean in layman's terms for the people who are not politically invested like others are? Tom McClintock will toe the party line no matter the cost. Tom McClintock is OG, if you want to put it in that sense, long term. Kevin Kileys might be liked. Tom McClintock is a soldier that'll do what the party needs him to do when they needed to do it. Without question. Seen it before over 30 years ago. Know what I'm talking about. You think Kevin Kileys is going to go after Tom McClintock? Well, that'll be an interesting short-lived combat, but okay. Well, if it's not Tom McClintock, Leo, then what's left? CD6 and Christine Bish. Interesting. Moving on. Think the path is clear of puppies. Got photobombed by a puppy. Cute little doggy. Yeah, people let their doggies out to go and do their business. Speaking of business, has anybody ever really been down to Georgia and seen what they do? Let me give you a little backdrop. You see this? Let me get the cat. There we go. You see this right there? Little brown spots there. The little brown pathway. You know what that is? Pine needles. Now, I'm not really sure why the people of Georgia put pine needles over everything in this state. Probably because when they get wet, they get heavy. Probably because they retain water. I don't know. It's a interesting thing here in Georgia. Pine needles all over the place, surrounding the compound. You know damn well in California, these people would have been ate up with insurance costs, banned from getting insurance, told you can't afford it. You got all kinds of fire hazard material around your buildings. But this isn't California, is it? No, it ain't. Oh my God, I'm starting to sound like I'm back in Georgia. Yeehaw. Anyway, wasn't talking about Chris Bish too much. Point's already been made. Next point I have is Mr. Chad Bianco. My. Somebody sang that song. I want to say my. Oh, flashback, I'm sorry. Chad Bianco. Chad Bianco is the sheriff of Riverside County running for governor. Somebody down south encouraged that man to run. I kind of use this word a little bit too often. But some idiot convinced this guy to run. Probably because he could raise money. Probably because he could get into positions and drag people with him. Probably because they felt he could get his brother in, his brother and the judge, his brother in the department. He could get in, friends could get in. They could all capitalize on California's stupidity of accounting for money. All kinds of alleged reasons. But that's not the point of the post. Chad Bianco was on a Take Your Power Back interview with myself, Leo Zaki, that's the other Leo. I'm the cute one, he's the Zaki. And Chad Bianco, the first 3 governor candidates to be interviewed by anybody at that time. Back around 2023, I want to say, 2024. Bianco, Zaki, and Naranjo. People ask me, how did you, Leo, get on that show? Hell if I know. She asked. I said, okay. The only thing I can think of. Our names were picked. Why? Are you shocked that I got on it, or are you shocked that I got on it with the people who were opposite of me? Chad and Leo. Zaki. Oh, well, you got on the show, Leo. I don't get platforms like that, so I'll never know. Yeah, I bet your little sweet bum cakes was probably watching it knee deep to figure out how your guy would fare, ignoring the other 2. Okay, whatever. Chad Bianco likes when you talk nice about him. Now, if you go back into enough Law and Order movies with cops, when you talk goody-goody to the cop, they were okay. But when you started getting a little antsy, they were not okay. Chad Bianco likes to profess he's got years upon years upon years of law experience. Why would this be any different? And it's not. Because Kim Yeater, however you want to pronounce it, pardon me if I pronounced it wrong, Miss Yeater took Chad's ass to task about this BLM kneeling, about the kneeling to the mob. And our boy didn't like it. Matter of fact, old wondrous Chad got a little testy, got a little antsy, got a little combative. You could almost say that was the Margaret Taylor Greene moment. I was not going to feel like an abused wife to the president any longer. Kim went after Chad Bianco, and Chad Bianco acted like a misogynistic SOB. He tried to counter her hard. Oh, he got puffy with Kim. Ooh, you got to see the video. Matter of fact, I'm going to find it again and repost that puppy tonight so you can see all three of us. Because she was nice enough to split them up into 1 hour segments. There is the long version, all three of us, same time, uncut. And then there's the 1 hour per person segment. Look at all three together. But definitely look at each one separately. And Chad Bianco found his nuts and had to go because he had other appointments. And from that time frame, you never saw Chad Bianco again on any type of a format stage that had the potential of being adversarial. I've just been informed tonight that Mr. Bianco is still feeling his nuts because he's putting out anything that has the potential of being adversarial, anything that has the potential of being controversial, anything that has the potential of being unfriendly, he will not attend that function. Steve Hilton's going to go to a function on March the 12th. That's the Pat Nixon Republicans Federated Women group. Steve Hilton will be there. I'm going to be there. Right now, there are 14 candidates selected to be there. This time, only Republicans. None of this non-party preference people that have been showing up to forums. Kind of sneaking in the back door, riding on the rift, as you want to call it. But hey, people who don't use the word Republican in their forum can do that. After all, it's their show. Now, it's Republicans only. And a few people have chose to remove themselves from the Republican Party. And that's their problem now. So they're not going to be present. They've taken themselves out of the mix, not the process. So Chad is going to be facing Hilton. But Hilton's already stabbed him in the back. I'd be adversarial. Even though it was kind of a wimpy-ass way of doing it. Jim Atherns is going to be there, but Mr. Jim seems to be going after Mr. Hilton hard. Leo Zaki will be there. Hey, Leo and I could do a repeat performance. On Che is going to be there. Pastor. Person with some influence and money. Rumor about him, he's trying to have an individual one-on-one meeting with the sponsor of this meeting, bypassing bylaws against such activity. I almost get the sense of wanting to go biblical on the man. He should know better than that. I mean, you are a pastor, right? You just happen to be a wealthy one. Okay. Why would you have to have a one-on-one meeting with the host of an event unless you're trying to angle for favor and personal gain at our expense? David Collenberg's going to be there. Got a little wealth behind him. Yes. I don't hear anything about him trying to do the same thing Mr. On is doing, Che On. Not hearing anything about Hilton doing that. Man has faults. And there might even be a level even he won't stoop to. That's yet to be seen. I mean, hell, he wants to get rid of maternity leave. Why would this be any different? The other candidates are the other candidates. We each have our own part to play in this drama. And then there's me, yours truly, and my ass is going to be there. Because I threw my hand up right away when I heard about it. I'm looking forward to this opportunity. I was looking forward to the sheriff's happy ass being there. And I was looking ready to call him in front of people so that he can know exactly what I intend to do, because I'm going to do it at the GOP convention if I get that opportunity as well. You're a sheriff of Riverside County. That's their problem. But Mr. Bianco, you're about the most cowardly individual I have ever run across in the entirety of my 36-year professional career. I've seen your type in the military, and I was never impressed. You're courageous because you have your position. Strip you of it, and let me get to the down and dirty vernacular, you ain't shit. And that's how that was described in the service. You have a badge, you have an office, authority behind it, and you carry a weapon. Constitutional sheriff? That's doubtful. Joe Aprio was a constitutional sheriff. He got more gall than you do. We all know about Mr. Joe from Arizona. Hell, Rush Limbaugh used to talk him up a lot. That's how I knew about him, how I found out about him. Liked the man, liked what he did. Doesn't seem like anything you would even consider. People want to challenge me on Twitter about you. I love those. It's the closest thing I can get to a debate, is challenging your supporters because you're too cowardly to come out of your own hole to debate anybody. You got afraid of the Dems. Let's put that in perspective. The Democrats held a forum/debate. Wasn't really even a debate. It was a forum. And you were afraid to show up to that. Hilton was there. By default, that made him look good. Hell, at least he showed. Your cowardly ass couldn't even do that. And people still support you? That's not the first time that you've backed out of forums. There's about 3 other ones that you've backed out of. Kim Meters was one of them. Forum held at the GOP convention. 90-second pop quiz. That was another one. You were there, but you weren't at that particular event. You showed up behind closed door meetings with Mr. Hilton, Mr. Serpa, Mr. Mercury, Mr. Tillman, Mr. Markham. You did that. Wonder what you were talking about back then. Y'all seem to be happy campers. That was okay. Why was that one okay, but all the other ones aren't? And I've been gunning for your happy ass since February, the beginning of the month. Because I see and know you exactly for the type of person you are. The only thing that you are is a person with a badge and a gun who has gotten over for the last umpteen years. You claim that you want to root out fraud and corruption? I'm right there with you, sir. Because one of the first things that I would do, one of the many first things that I would do in the course of my time as governor, should I be elected, is we're going to investigate your ass and your department down there for all the crap that I keep hearing about it and reading about it. We're going to find a way to ensure sheriffs do not hold 3 positions in this state, where the entirety of the bedrock of corruption can emanate from. That means you're going to be a sheriff or the person in charge of the jails or the coroner. But to hold all 3 positions, you could write your own ticket to fraud, waste, and abuse just by being there in charge. And we're seeing a lot of examples coming out of Riverside County as the explanation of why we need to investigate your particular area of expertise, especially that coroner position. Find out why you have all these people dying in your jails. Because if they're all overdosing, how the hell is all that getting through past your deputies unless you know about it or you're ignorant of it, which shows a lack of leadership for being ignorant of it. Lastly, sir, I want to do this. And like I said, I've seen your type in the military before. Never was impressed with them. Losers in a uniform is what I always refer to them as. Chad Bianco. You'll kneel to mobs in the street. You'll stand up and go toe-to-toe with a woman like you did Ms. Yater and like you probably want to do with Ms. Porter to show how manly you are. You couldn't attend a forum that only had 4 questions asked. You couldn't attend a debate / forum / debate that the Democrats threw up. But you snuck into a debate the Democrats threw out in Stockton, California, where there was only 3 of them. And what happened in debate? Nobody cared that your ass was there, sir. That was a setup for them. But you were dumb enough to accept it and went there and got embarrassed. Because they didn't talk about you being there. No, they talked about them having lame recognition problems. And sounding just like Gavin Newsom. Just a different face. You went to that forum, but you skipped Kim Yeater's forum. The one that was happening down south. And now the word being put out on the street is you refuse to go to any forum unless they talk about Chad Bianco is great, oh Chad, oh this, oh that. You refuse to engage with anybody, and you sure as hell aren't going to debate anyone. What the hell kind of a man are you? A lot of people think, Leo, you talk a lot of shit. A lot of people think, oh man, who are you, Leo? Mr. Naranjo? You're a nobody. You're a political nobody. Ladies and gentlemen, what's the difference between me and Chad Bianco? He wears a uniform today of what, a sheriff? I wore the uniform of a sergeant in the military. You think I'm any less because I'm not in it today? I served my nation. I did my 15 years and honorably retired. Let's match the so-called sheriff that you think is all that in a bag of chitlins and start to point out some inconsistencies between the 2 of us. Number 1, my ass has never knelt to anything of that nature, much less a mob, like he has. Number 2, he's elected to office, so was I. He's elected to a position, so was I. Numerous times. Various positions. oh, he has life and death over people. I had life and death over people too in the military. Thankfully, it never had to get exercised on the field of combat. But when we went to the field to practice how we wage war, because how you fight is how you practice, and how you practice is how you fight, let me tell you, some of the decisions that I made definitely had an impact to the people I would have led had we had been in combat. Cost me 1 soldier. Cost the side I was fighting 60. And before we even got into contact, I had a problem with the first half a day of my soldiers who didn't know me from Adam's apple. Military people can relate to this. The new guy on the block is not a trustworthy person until he proves himself. And at the end of the first half of our first day, those people would do anything I asked them to. I didn't need to tell them to. That's leadership, sir. That's how I earned that trust and that respect from people I had just met. Unlike you, that basically gets it from coercion. You couldn't even net 13% of your own freaking county to vote for your ass. So fundamentally speaking, you have a 178-year lodestone around your neck. No one in a sheriff has ever been elected to California governorship in a 178-year history. Good luck with that one, because you ain't gonna be the first. I used to wear a uniform. You currently do wear a uniform. Okay, let's match something else that we got in. You think your government trusts you with a bunch of stuff? My government trusted me with all kinds of stuff. Millions of dollars worth of checks, millions of dollars of foreign currency, millions of dollars in checks that had no serial numbers to be traced. Millions of dollars worth of equipment, just like your happy slappy. And most of all, the biggest compliment I could have ever gotten from my government, they trusted me with their secrets. My military history includes 14 years of having a top secret clearance. What have you gotten in relation to that, sir? So you feel that you're too good to debate anybody, unless it's praise Chad. You think that you're above everybody else if they're not praising Chad. You think that you can take people's money who donate to your campaign and then you stiff them, as I'm seeing just coming out on Twitter today. Let me tell you this, Mr. Bianco, it's kind of simple. Even somebody of your nature would understand. You're just a coward in a uniform and a gun with a badge. I don't care how pissed off your people get. I don't care how pissed off your supporters get. I don't care how pissed off the party gets, because I'm saying what I'm saying to you. But politics is war in another name. You've never been in one, neither have I, but I did volunteer to go to a war zone. Not only did I volunteer to go there, I was dumb enough to volunteer to go early and ended up staying in Kuwait for 4 months. My government trusted me with their top stuff as far as secrecy and information. So when it comes to respect, why I'm not showing you any, it's because you haven't earned anything from me to deserve it. You want to run from debates, that's fine. Let's put it out there again so that everybody is aware. Chad Bianco, with his 30 years experience in law enforcement, or just 30 years of experience, versus Leo Naranjo, the 36-year experienced individual. The sheriff versus the retired Army veteran. What are the terms and the conditions of this debate? so people understand what I mean when I say this, you can set all of them, I don't care. Your terms, I'll agree, here and now, today, the 11th of February. Let me get a timestamp so we can both understand. It's 9:45 Georgia time, East Coast time. 9:45 p.m. on the 11th of February, terms and conditions of a debate. You set them, I'm already agreeing to them. How's that? My one demand, my family will be present at our debate. That's my demand. That's it. Political field people tell me nobody makes that kind of challenge to another candidate that they've ever known, much less feel that person to come out ahead in a debate. Okay. Must have brass balls. No. Must know something. Sure do. No, I'm better than you on any given day. No, I'm better than you on my worst day. March 12th is supposed to be the Pat Nixon Forum for some government candidates. Steve Hilton will be there, but your ass seems to be missing again. So then the question comes to be, this is a Pat Nixon event. I don't know these people from people here in Georgia. They don't know me, I don't know them. And I don't think I've met anybody from that group. Maybe a couple people. One of two things is happening by you refusing to attend this debate, Mr. Bianco. You are deathly afraid of Steve Hilton, which I find to be humorous as hell if that's the reason, because that doesn't bode well for California at all. You're afraid of going up against Steve Hilton? Oh my God, if you're afraid of that person, Jesus, what are you going to do when the unions latch onto your ass? You're either afraid of Steve Hilton, which is why you're not showing up, or you're afraid of being challenged to a one-on-one debate with an Army veteran who's going to stand his ground and call you out at this function to do just that under your conditions and terms, and I've already pre-agreed to whatever they are without even knowing what they are. With my only demand being that my family gets to be present at the event. You're either afraid of him or you're afraid of me. Because anything else is bullshit. It's that simple. You can run that I'm into poll numbers. I don't have to do jack diddly with you because I don't care who you are. Yeah, you can say that. God bless you if you do. You're not bothering me. You say that all you want to. I don't give a damn. But you're telling that to every person I represent. By the mere fact that in telling me that you don't care to be there because you're not respectful of me, what about all those people that aren't even close to me? How well do you respect them? Obviously not enough to stand up and have a debate and pronounce how wonderful of a person you are and how they should know it. Because I think the opposite would come out of our debate on how crappy of a person you are and how they're going to find out about it. That's what I think. That's just me. But the challenge is to you. I'm not too sure how many more of these sessions you're going to keep running away from. You'll endure the GOP one, but I think you're going to break out into a sweat, or you're going to probably tell the GOP that if I show up, I got to be neutered and muffled, so I can't make that open challenge to you on the debate of a delegate floor with the state party officials present. Ooh, how would that look? And in the face of that potential, what do you think is going to happen if I show up to that function and your happy ass is there? That's getting worked on as we speak, sir, because I plan on being there too, to do exactly that one-on-one challenge in front of 1,400 delegates of the GOP. God bless you. That's what California means to me. I don't know what the hell you think this state means for you, but that's what my state means for me. And contrary to popular belief, you're the man who's making the excuses for amnesty in the state of California, not me. You're the man willing to go overboard for non-citizens, not me. You run around and see your little contact groups, your little rah-rah groups, whatever other little functionary you can do. And I'll keep running around contacting the people that I contact with, especially the families who have been effed over by this state that can't even acknowledge the error that they did, which caused their families harm. But I'll tell you about it when we're done, with their permission. But you, sir, I get it that old Steve chopped you one in the backside. Let me make a little clarity in case you overlooked that one too. Steve Hilton took a cheap shot at you on a debate stage with the Democrats, and picture the outcome of that. A debate stage set up by the Democrats, with Democrats in the audience, with Democrats on the panel, with Democrats all over the area watching the Democrat candidates take on the one moderate Republican on stage that's more like them than he is a Republican. And he stabbed you in the back by saying that you bent the knee to Black Lives Matter. You bent the knee to a mob, but he went another path. And I'll give you that. That was a chicken shit move on his part. Steve Hilton stabbed you in the back because you weren't there, and he took a cheap shot opening. And most people will call that exactly what it is. That's a bitch move. But that was what Steve Hilton did. Gives you an insight to that character moment. It also tells you a little bit about my character towards you, sir. I'm not taking a cheap shot about what you are, who you are, and everything else. I flat ass will tell you about the same shit that I'm talking about now, to your face on a debate stage. Because that's where it counts. I'm not doing it to impress you. I care less if you're impressed or not. But you and I will be playing to the audience to let them figure out who the better candidate is for our state. Steve Hilton chumped Chad in the back. I won't do that to you. I'm gonna come right at you, to your face. Big difference between the two people that you're having to deal with if you show up to the March 12th forum. Challenge is made. It's up to you to offer and accept. Leo Naranjo IV, candidate for governor, California, 2026. First and foremost, for the citizens of this state, that is why I'm running for governor of California, why I'm looking to earn your vote, not coerce you into giving me your vote, and not to bribe you by buying your vote. I'm looking to earn it. And that's the difference. You guys have a great evening. God bless.